Hey, what's up, Boneheads? Thanks for checking out another recipe with BoneHead Waterfowl. And guys, I've got something awesome cooking for you today. I'm going to show you how to make our barbecue pulled duck with the Instant Pot. And this recipe is awesome. Really, I love it for three reasons. One, it's super quick. This Instant Pot, you can put it in, go out and mow the yard, come in, and it's ready. You don't have to let it go in a crock pot all day. However, we will have a crock pot version of this coming out down the road. Second, it's a good way to use up a lot of duck. You can do a small portion for just you and your family, or you can do a big portion for a football gathering or potluck, whatever it may be. So if you get in that freezer, you find some old meat from the previous season, this is a great recipe to use some of that up. And third, it tastes awesome, and you can really make it your own. You can add your own little touch to this and kind of shape it depending on what flavors you like. So super simple. We're going to dive right into it. To start off, just take about 3/4 or a full onion, and you just want these big peels, and all you're gonna do is just make a nice onion bed in the bottom of this Instant Pot. All right, so we've got our onion bed, and now we're gonna add our duck. And here's what we're doing. One of the things I love about this recipe is you can use all sorts of different duck. This recipe here has mallard, wood duck, and gadwall. These bigger breasts work best, but I would not use teal. Teal's so small that it's gonna get so tender, it's gonna fall apart real quick. I would stick to your larger ducks like this. Like I said, this is all mallard, wood duck, and gadwall. You could even throw some widgeon in here. If you got into a bunch of spoonbills, you need to use them up, you can get in here, pintail, all that's gonna taste great. So right there, we've got our bed of onions, and now we've got our meat on. And then last, I've got 4 cloves of crushed garlic here, and I'm just gonna tuck these down in here. And you can use as much of this stuff as you want, depending on the flavor. You're really just trying to get a good base for this liquid that it's gonna cook in. All right, so we got our bed of onions, we've got our duck on there, and our garlic. Now you have to have liquid in this Instant Pot anytime you cook. It's not quite like a crock pot though. You don't have to fill it all the way. And so we're going to start first with just this measuring cup, because we're going to put all of our rub in there. You can do this however you want. You can add your own spices kind of one by one to create your own flavor profile, or you can use some seasonings that are already been made that you just buy from the store, or a combination of the two. And that's exactly what I'm going to do today. So just some red crushed pepper flakes, some nature seasoning. I'm going to come in with a little cilantro. I'm not worried about any garlic powder, onion powder, because I've already got those ingredients in there. And then this rub by Traeger, this fin and feather, I love this stuff on wild game. So I'm going to actually come back with this and hit the top of the meat. But this is a great way to get your seasonings kind of mixed into that liquid so it spreads out in that Instant Pot. All right, so we got that mixed up. We're gonna go right into our Instant Pot here. Perfect. And on this, I forgot to tell you guys, we're using beef broth. So you can use beef broth, chicken broth, apple juice. I really think though the beef broth gives you a nice flavor to it. So again, I'm coming just up to where the top of that breast is still showing. And then I told you I'm going to come back with that fin and feather rub just to give it one nice little layer of seasoning. All right, guys, so we've got everything in there. I told you, this is super easy. So all we're going to do, we're going to put our lid on our Instant Pot. I'm going to do that here in a minute, so I got to move the camera. For cooking this, you're going to set it to pressure cook. And for a small, medium batch like this, you're going to do 37 minutes of pressure cook. You're going to do a 5-minute natural release followed, and then you're going to go ahead and do that manual release where you flip the switch and the steam comes out. If you're doing a large batch and you fill this up, I would do 40 to 42 minutes pressure cook, and I do a 10-minute natural release before you flip the switch on it. So we're going to pop the lid on this thing, get it cooking. Stay tuned. You're going to want to see this when it comes out. All right, guys, it cooked for 37 minutes. We're going to go ahead and do the release now since it had the 5-minute natural release. We're going to vent this, and then we're going to take a look at what's inside. All right, guys, so you have a couple options at this point. You can drain this or strain it and let all that liquid go, which is fine. That's what I'm gonna do right now because I'm actually just gonna mix it with some barbecue sauce. Or you can save some of that juice, and if you wanna serve the meat just by itself and let people do the sauce on the side, that's a great way to keep it moist, is use all that liquid that it just cooked in. So make up your mind there. It's gonna taste good either way. I'm gonna go ahead and strain this. It's hot. All right, so what I'm hoping for is that this is just pull apart tender. Let's see what we got here. Look at that. Falls apart. Look how easy that is to shred. So I don't want to make a mess here. I'm going to go ahead and get this meat out of here, get it away from all the onions and the garlic, get it in its own separate bowl. Hang on. All right, guys, so this right here, look how tender this is. Barely touch it, and it's already falling apart. All right, guys, this stuff is looking good, and I'm telling you what, you can serve this plain just like this. Like I said, save back a little bit of that juice that it cooked in. It is delicious. This, I mean, what people don't realize is how tender duck can be. They usually overcook it. I mean, on this, it's cooked well done because you did it in there, but this is good. It's tender. Builds up a lot of flavor from that stuff it cooked in. All right, guys, last step here. Oh. Get that duck in there, spread it out. Now, if you don't want to do it in the Instant Pot, you can go back to a crock pot, but this does have a slow cooker setting on it. You can either serve this right away, but what I like to do is put this in here. Go ahead and get your barbecue. Use a good barbecue sauce. This one's a little spicy, which I like a little kick. You could even throw some chopped jalapenos in here, some red crushed pepper, really whatever you want. Just kind of make it your own. Get that sauce in there. And then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna hit with a little more sauce. I like sauce. So the more sauce you do, the less that wild game tastes. It really doesn't have a bad wild game flavor to it at all. But it's completely up to you. If you wanna serve it on sauce on the side, put a little bit in here or a lot. I like to get this in here. I'm gonna let it go on the crock pot setting here for about 10-15 minutes. Just let it soak up some of that sauce. And then we're gonna put it on a bun and give it a try. All right, so we got our toasted bun. Gonna take our meat out of the Instant Pot after it's been on that slow cooker setting. Just sitting there simmering in there. And then last little touch, I told you can make this your own. You can put a little chopped jalapeno in there. I like a spicy pickle. So get a couple slices of that spicy pickle on there. And then that barbecue pulled duck. We're gonna get it on there. Right there, guys. All right, time for the best part. We're gonna try this thing out. You guys are gonna impress your friends, your family, your hunting buddies. That is delicious. Crispy bun, you get the crunch of the pickle and some heat from that savory barbecue, tender pulled pork. I'm telling you, this is a great recipe. I hope this duck season goes well for you guys. Set some of that duck aside, give this a try. You're not gonna regret it. Thanks for checking it out.